Welcome back, everyone. In the world of medicine, there are cases so baffling they leave even the most brilliant experts searching for answers. Today, we're diving into a few extraordinary stories that seem to defy the very laws of biology. From a young boy with a syndrome uniquely named after himself, to a man who transformed the world despite enduring 200 bone fractures. While these accounts are drawn from various international reports, it's important to note that many details remain medical mysteries and have not been fully verified. As we explore these fascinating cases, we invite you to watch with an open mind and decide for yourself what to believe. In this video, we'll dive into these remarkable and inspiring stories. Join us as we discover individuals with extraordinary appearances and learn how they live with strength, confidence, and inspiration. Don't miss the chance to gain a fresh perspective on beauty and individuality. If you're intrigued and want to know more about these incredible people, be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss any of our upcoming eye-opening videos. Analysis right now. In the quiet village of Nawada in Bihar, India, young Mithun Chauhan's life took an unexpected turn at the age of 5. What began as a painful mole was treated with the wrong medicine by a local healer, triggering massive swelling. Before long, tumors began to cover his face and body due to a condition known as Neurofibromatosis, a rare genetic disorder that causes growths to develop along the nerves. This condition is estimated to affect approximately 1 in every 33,000 people. By 16, the growths had expanded to block his eyes, nose, and mouth, severely obstructing his ability to see, eat, and breathe. Local villagers began referring to him as Ghost Boy and would flee in fear at his sight, leading to a life where friends abandoned him and attending school became an impossibility. In a moment of deep sorrow, Mithun shared that his appearance was the sole reason his peers had left him, leaving him with no one to play with and prompting him to question why he was condemned to such a difficult existence. His family, believing the condition was a curse, turned to various rituals that ultimately provided no relief. However, a turning point arrived when Dr. Ashwini Dash diagnosed the true medical cause. Despite the complications, he survived and later shared his journey with a heartfelt smile, noting how his life has transformed from a state of grief to one of true happiness since the surgery, especially now that his vision has improved and he can finally enjoy playing with other children. Mithun's story serves as a powerful lesson that even when facing rare challenges and social stigma, seeking professional medical help, accepting the kindness of strangers, and never losing hope can truly change everything, reminding us all to never judge by appearances because empathy and science can bring light to even the deepest darkness. Michelle Kish is a resilient young woman from Illinois living with Hallermann-Streiff syndrome, an exceptionally rare genetic condition that affects fewer than a few hundred individuals across the globe. This condition impacts her physical development and growth, resulting in her signature petite stature and unique facial features. However, her journey involves navigating complex, ongoing medical challenges involving her heart, lungs, and bones, all of which require highly specialized and dedicated care. Her story is a profound example of facing rare circumstances with strength, reminding us that behind every medical diagnosis is a person whose life and health depend on both medical science and expert support. Even though her life has been shaped by constant hospital visits and ongoing health struggles, Michelle's spirit remains incredibly bright as she embraces every day with a level of energy and confidence that many truly describe as superhero-like. Beyond her medical diagnosis, she lives a remarkably full life, fueled by her love for playing video games, listening to music, and bonding with her dog, all while constantly sharing laughter with those she loves, proving that her vibrant personality and passions far outweigh the challenges she faces. Michelle speaks openly about her condition, her dreams, and her sense of self-worth, choosing to cultivate self-love and positivity rather than viewing her life through the lens of illness. In doing so, she inspires others to look beyond physical appearances and value the resilience within. Her ambitions are as vibrant as her spirit, with goals of pursuing a career where she can help others, whether that's becoming a pediatrician, a fashion designer, or even an actress, proving that a rare condition never has to limit one's ambition or joy. Ultimately, Michelle's journey teaches us that true strength is found in the heart and mindset rather than physical form, reminding us that embracing oneself, pursuing dreams, and living with courage are truly what make a person remarkable. Ariel Henley was born with Crouzon Syndrome, an exceptionally rare craniofacial condition that causes the skull bones to fuse prematurely, necessitating dozens of surgeries for both Ariel and her identical twin sister, starting in infancy. Procedures performed even before they could fully grasp the concepts of pain or identity, simply to create space for their developing brains and facial structures. As she grew up, Ariel navigated a world deeply fixated on conventional beauty standards, often facing the harsh reality of being stared at, whispered about, compared to abstract art, or even ridiculed, all of which deeply wounded her self-image and led to profound feelings of alienation. These early experiences served as a painful lesson in just how visible differences can be, highlighting the emotional weight of living with a condition that society often fails to understand or accept with empathy. Rather than retreating into the shadows, Ariel turned to the power of writing, beginning in her school years and eventually evolving into powerful essays for prestigious publications like the New York Times and The Atlantic, which ultimately led to the release of her memoir, A Face for Picasso. Through her evocative storytelling, she has delved deep into the complexities of trauma, identity, and beauty, shedding light on the psychological impact of living with a facial difference. Her writing has become more than just a craft. It is a vital tool for understanding her own experiences, processing years of pain, and building a profound connection with others whose stories are so often left unheard in mainstream media. Ariel did far more than simply document her life. She fundamentally reframed what it means to truly be seen and what it means to be human beyond physical appearance, while courageously challenging the deeply ingrained ableism that persists in our society. Her bravery in speaking her truth serves as a powerful reminder that our stories have the capacity to heal, educate, and transform how the world perceives difference, proving that true acceptance only begins when we value individuals for their inherent humanity rather than their conformity to superficial and fleeting standards. In the heart of Hollywood, a world obsessed with the flawless, Mauricio Saravia represented a radical biological anomaly. Driven by a severe GNAS gene mutation, his body was a battleground for McCune-Albright syndrome, manifesting in the rare and striking lion's face deformity. His struggle for survival began in earnest at age 5. During his first skull surgery, his heart flatlined for several minutes, leaving him permanently blind in his left eye. Though medical records initially predicted a short life defined by debilitating pain and social exile, Saravia's journey became a haunting defiance of clinical data and the superficial standards of the limelight. Analyzing his trajectory reveals a total subversion of clinical expectations. Rather than retreating into the shadows, Mauricio made a strategic move to Los Angeles. In a city defined by an obsession with physical perfection, he leveraged his extreme visual contrast to completely redefine the concept of beauty through his painting, poetry, and digital art. Transitioning from a medical dependent who survived numerous major surgeries to a celebrated artist walking Hollywood red carpets, he synthesized his physical agony into profound, surrealist masterpieces before passing away at the age of 39. The analysis of Mauricio's trajectory confirms a powerful baseline. The physical body is a temporary vessel, not a definitive measure of human value. His legacy serves as a profound case study in how inner resilience can override biological limitations to forge a lasting impact. Do you believe that true greatness is defined by using one's internal potential to build a timeless legacy? Share your perspective in the comments, and be sure to hit like and subscribe to join us as we continue investigating these extraordinary stories of human defiance. In November 1961, Liverpool, England, became the site of one of the most devastating failures in modern medical history with the birth of Kevin Donnellan. His mother had been prescribed thalidomide for morning sickness, a drug that ultimately caused catastrophic birth defects in thousands of infants globally. Kevin entered the world without arms or legs, leading doctors to mistakenly believe he was stillborn and place him in a box beneath the delivery table. Despite medical advice for his mother to leave him behind at the hospital, a faint cry from the infant changed his fate. Kevin survived against every clinical expectation. As a child, Kevin navigated the world on cumbersome wooden prosthetic legs. These outdated, hazardous relics were notoriously loud and uncomfortable, frequently leading to traumatic falls, physical injuries, and chronic back complications. He endured the relentless stares of a society that saw no future for him. In a heartbreaking archival documentary, his mother even expressed the grim belief that thalidomide would forever bar him from finding professional success, falling in love, or ever starting a family of his own. Kevin refused to let his disability define his future. He earned a degree in applied social sciences, becoming a university lecturer and a dedicated disability welfare advisor. Beyond his professional success, he learned to drive an adapted car and stood on the front lines of disability rights protests. In 2015, Kevin married and became a proud father to his 2 children, Daisy and Oliver. His life proves a powerful principle. Never let the low expectations of others limit you. True strength is found in character and resilience, not the physical body. With enough courage, we can surpass every external boundary to build a life full of purpose, love, and hope. Sarah Ezekiel is a prominent British artist and advocate who has navigated the challenges of motor neurone disease, MND, for over 2 decades. This progressive condition eventually deprived her of both speech and upper body mobility. However, rather than succumbing to silence, Sarah leveraged cutting-edge technology to reclaim her creative voice. Following her diagnosis in 2000, her life shifted fundamentally, as essential tasks like painting and parenting became physically impossible. Through eye gaze technology, a system that translates eye movements into computer commands, she pioneered a new method of digital artistry, proving that she could still communicate and create masterpieces simply by focusing her gaze on a screen. Sarah Ezekiel is now an internationally recognized figure in the world of eye-tracking art, with her works exhibited in global galleries. Her portfolio serves as a definitive validation that human creativity remains unstoppable, even when biological systems fail. Beyond the canvas, she utilizes assistive technology to maintain her digital presence, authoring content and advocating for those with life-limiting conditions. Sarah's leadership extends to her roles as a patron for charities like Lifelights and as co-chair of the MND Association's Northwest London branch, proving that her influence is as much about social impact as it is about aesthetic beauty. Sarah's journey provides definitive validation that the synergy of technology and human resolve can unlock profound potential and dignity, even amidst significant physical loss. She successfully transforms biological limitations into creative expression, challenging the world to recognize that one's voice is not defined by the body, but rather by courage and innovation. Her life serves as a powerful case study in the principle that true expression originates from within, thriving when we choose to adapt, innovate, and refuse to let external circumstances silence our narrative. Can a biological system overwhelmed by an extreme NF1 mutation, one that obstructs the airways and paralyzes mobility, ever be successfully recalibrated? For Charmaine Sahadeo, a mother from Trinidad, life had become a slow, agonizing sentence. Her severe neurofibromatosis didn't just cause thousands of tumors to obscure her face. It dismantled her 18-year marriage and forced her into total social exile. Initial clinical data suggested that medical intervention was virtually impossible. The massive growths had completely obscured her veins, making the administration of standard general anesthesia a high-stakes, unviable risk. Analyzing her clinical extraction reveals a remarkable defiance of these once absolute physical constraints. Charmaine collaborated with Dr. Ryan Osborne in Los Angeles, embracing a high-risk variable, undergoing 13 hours of major facial surgery while fully conscious under local anesthesia. Following a rigorous 10-week protocol involving 24 individual surgeries and 60 total hours in the operating room, her physical baseline was fundamentally transformed. The successful removal of thousands of agonizing growths restored her ability to breathe and walk, allowing her to finally reclaim her autonomy. Charmaine's trajectory validates a definitive principle. Life is not permanently governed by genetic anomalies. Even massive physiological barriers can be dismantled when a relentless human survival instinct intersects with bold medical innovation. One must never accept a terminal baseline as final, so long as the capacity to seek alternative variables and clinical solutions remains. Born in Cardiff, Wales in 1960, Rosaline "Rosie" Moriarty-Simmons entered the world with phocomelia, a rare limb difference characterized by 4 fingers situated on her shoulders and 13 toes on short legs ending above the knee. This biological anomaly resulted from her mother being prescribed thalidomide during pregnancy, the infamous pharmaceutical failure that caused severe birth defects in thousands of infants globally. While clinical data initially predicted a severely limited life, Rosie refused to accept these low expectations. Despite facing constant public scrutiny and the assumption that she could achieve little, she adapted remarkably. She mastered daily tasks using her mouth and feet, learned the intricate skill of mouth painting, and eventually gained full independence, even navigating the world in a specially adapted vehicle. Rosie earned her degree and founded RMS Consultancy to champion equality and accessibility, becoming a renowned mouth painter with the mouth and foot painting artists. Her career expanded into acting and broadcasting on both radio and television, alongside global inspirational speaking engagements. In 2007, she published her autobiography, 4 Fingers and 13 Toes, a narrative that interlaced her personal journey with the historical and ongoing impact of the thalidomide tragedy. A tireless advocate for disability rights, she was instrumental in establishing a thalidomide memorial and was ultimately awarded an OBE for her distinguished services to equality and the community. Rosie married, raised a family, and continues her work in both volunteering and the arts. Her life serves as a definitive validation that disability is not inability. She proves that when determination and advocacy intersect, we can shatter societal barriers and achieve full independence. Ultimately, her journey demonstrates that true strength originates from the human spirit rather than physical configuration. Can a human system survive a massive 55-pound facial mutation while maintaining basic life functions? Huang Chunsai represents one of the most extreme cases of the NF1 genetic anomaly ever recorded. His colossal tumor didn't just obliterate his vision, it compromised his breathing and severely warped his spine. Initial clinical data suggested that any attempt at surgery would result in fatal blood loss, leaving him physically imprisoned by his own body for over 20 years. Analyzing his historic 2007 surgical interventions reveals a strategy that defied all clinical baselines. Surgeons executed a highly calculated, multi-staged extraction protocol specifically designed to mitigate catastrophic blood loss. Stripping away this massive tissue burden did more than just decompress his respiratory system. It fundamentally recalibrated his trajectory, finally restoring his core human autonomy. Huang's trajectory validates a definitive principle. Even the most severe genetic sentence cannot override the human will. By confronting statistically fatal risks head-on, both the individual and the medical system can shatter established physical limits and engineer a complete biological reclamation. Born in 1995 in Ontario, Canada, Steph Sanjati was born with Waardenburg syndrome type 1, a rare genetic condition inherited from her maternal lineage. This biological baseline is defined by specific pigmentary anomalies, including her signature white forelock and strikingly deep blue eyes. The syndrome's diagnostic markers are evident in her facial architecture, characterized by dystopia canthorum, wide-set eyes, and broader features, alongside profound hearing loss in her left ear. As a child, Steph endured bullying that severely eroded her confidence, as peers mocked her unique appearance. She struggled with her self-image until discovering makeup, which she transformed into a powerful tool for self-expression and empowerment. Transitioning to the digital space changed her trajectory entirely. She built a massive YouTube community of over 600,000 subscribers. By openly sharing her journey as a transgender woman, her expertise in makeup artistry, and her life with Waardenburg syndrome, she turned personal vulnerability into a platform for global connection. In 2015, Steph's viral video, My Face, Waardenburg Syndrome, achieved nearly 10 million views, educating a global audience and destigmatizing the condition. During her facial feminization surgery, she made a definitive choice to retain her natural Waardenburg features, fully embracing her unique aesthetic. As a prominent transgender advocate, she collaborated with high-profile designers and joined major anti-bullying initiatives like Rimmel's hashtag #IWillNotBeDeleted. By transforming harassment into a source of strength, she proved that biological differences can be a powerful platform for social change. Steph's trajectory validates a definitive principle. Your differences are not flaws. They are the core of what makes you extraordinary. True beauty and strength originate from a baseline of self-acceptance and the resilience to use your voice as a catalyst for others. Her life serves as a powerful case study in how embracing one's unique biological and personal identity can inspire a global movement. Have you ever unlocked a new level of confidence by accepting your true self? Share your perspective in the comments, and be sure to hit like and subscribe to stay connected with more investigative stories of human defiance. The biological case of Shanina Isom represents a profound clinical anomaly where the integumentary system undergoes a radical transformation. Following a standard medication reaction after an asthma attack, her hair follicles began to produce hard, nail-like structures instead of hair. This condition is driven by an overproduction of keratin, the fibrous protein typically reserved for nails and hooves, effectively causing her skin to generate thousands of tiny calcified growths. The clinical assessment at Johns Hopkins Hospital revealed a profound metabolic dysfunction. Shanina's hair follicles were producing approximately 12 times the normal volume of skin cells. This cellular hyperproliferation forced the follicles to synthesize rigid keratin structures instead of hair. Traced back to a 2009 steroid treatment for asthma, this systemic shift caused nail-like growths to gradually cover significant areas of her body, establishing a medical case without known precedent. Shanina passed away in February 2025, concluding a 16-year clinical battle that remains one of modern medicine's most profound enigmas. Her trajectory serves as a definitive reminder of the biological mysteries that still evade scientific categorization and the immense resilience required to navigate them. When conventional medicine fails to provide immediate answers, the intersection of courage and community support becomes the primary baseline for survival. Shanina's legacy continues to challenge our understanding of human pathology and the enduring strength of the spirit in the face of the unknown. How does a biological system with two distinct consciousnesses, sharing a single stomach, liver, and pelvis, survive in a world defined by prejudice? When Ganga and Jamuna Mondal were born in India, both sociological and clinical data predicted a life of severe marginalization and systemic failure. Abandoned by their family due to their profound physical anomalies, their baseline for independent survival was practically non-existent. Analyzing their trajectory reveals a radical systemic disruption of the tragic anomaly trope. Reclaiming ownership of their narrative, Ganga and Jamuna utilized their extreme visual configuration as a survival mechanism, joining a traveling circus as the Spider Sisters. Rather than submitting to a high-risk, potentially lethal separation surgery that could have terminated their shared biological system, they chose to preserve their symbiotic existence. The most profound data point in this case isn't their anatomy, but their shared psychology. They successfully engineered a functional, joyful life within an impossible biological framework after discovering a mutual partnership with Jasimuddin Ahmad. By finding someone who valued both consciousnesses equally, they validated a crucial principle. The human capacity for connection is not limited by physical symmetry. The Mondal sisters' trajectory establishes a definitive survival principle. Human fulfillment does not require a standardized physical baseline. Instead of risking a fatal systemic overhaul to conform to societal norms, true empowerment originates from embracing one's unique structural reality. By converting perceived anomalies into a sustainable livelihood and remaining open to human connection, they successfully engineered a high-functioning life within an impossible biological framework. Born in 1962 in Orange, France, Michel Petrucciani was born with osteogenesis imperfecta, brittle bone disease, a genetic condition defined by extreme bone fragility and a deficiency in type 1 collagen. His biological baseline was characterized by over 100 fractures before adolescence, chronic pain, and a severe growth deficit, resulting in a height of approximately 3 feet, 91 centimeters, and a weight of barely 50 pounds. While he required a wheelchair and custom pedal extensions to interact with the piano, his hands remained structurally unaffected, allowing for a high-functioning musical interface. A musical prodigy within a jazz-centric lineage, Michel began an intensive piano regimen at age 4, inspired by Duke Ellington. Due to his biological constraints, he never attended formal schooling, instead focusing on a high-functioning mastery of the keyboard. By 13, he was performing professionally. By 15, his technical facility stunned the jazz community. In 1980, he transitioned to the U.S., collaborating with saxophonist Charles Lloyd and earning critical acclaim at the Montreux Jazz Festival. At 21, he became the first French artist to sign with Blue Note Records, producing seminal albums like 100 Hearts. His career was defined by collaborations with legends like Wayne Shorter and Jim Hall, culminating in prestigious honors including the Prix Django Reinhardt and the Légion d'honneur in 1994. Despite lifelong chronic pain and pulmonary complications resulting from osteogenesis imperfecta, Michel Petrucciani maintained a high-intensity lifestyle defined by creative output and social vibrancy. He passed away in January 1999 at age 36 due to respiratory failure, leaving behind a legacy that defies biological constraints. Michel's trajectory validates a singular principle. He rejected the label of genius in favor of relentless hard work. His life serves as a definitive case study in how dedication and a refusal to adopt a victim baseline can transcend even the most severe physical adversity. He proved that true greatness is a product of spiritual resolve and effort, demonstrating that the human system can achieve global influence regardless of its structural limitations. Can a biological system subjected to the extreme effects of acromegaly, causing excessive growth of facial bones and internal organs, survive the brutal environment of professional boxing? Nikolai Valuev, known as the Beast from the East, is a definitive clinical case study. At 7 feet tall and over 324 pounds, his physical data shattered boxing's established standards. He wasn't just a fighter. He was a morphological anomaly who engineered himself into the tallest and heaviest champion in history. Analyzing his trajectory reveals a systemic paradox. The very colossal bone mass and physical structure perceived as weapons were simultaneously the internal enemies dismantling his biological system. Acromegaly does not merely forge physical power. It is strictly coupled with chronic cardiovascular and joint failure risks due to the extreme metabolic and structural load. At the clinical level, the IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1, overdrive that created his massive frame also led to severe joint degeneration and organomegaly, enlarged internal organs. Actual clinical data confirms Valuev endured multiple complex brain and orthopedic surgeries to manage these systemic failures. Ultimately, he was forced to decommission his career in 2009 due to debilitating joint pain, transitioning from an icon of absolute strength to a living testament to the catastrophic biological cost of gigantism. Nikolai Valuev's trajectory establishes a definitive principle. Physical greatness is not an infinitely sustainable state. His life proves that while an extreme structural baseline can engineer a world-class champion, the metabolic and orthopedic toll of acromegaly makes that state unsustainable. True strength is not found in the infinite expansion of the body, but in the strategic recalibration of one's energy toward sustainable social values. What do you think about true strength lying in recognizing one's limits and transforming energy into more sustainable values for society? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe to explore more inspiring stories of human defiance. Born in Maesteg, Wales, Ali Treisais entered the world with a rare and life-threatening condition, encephalocele. This structural anomaly, a form of neural tube defect, occurred when a gap in his skull allowed a portion of his brain and its protective membranes to protrude through his nose. This created a large golf ball-sized sac that expanded outward as he matured, earning him the affectionate nickname, the real-life Pinocchio, from his mother, Amy. Detected at a 20-week ultrasound as an unusual soft tissue mass, an MRI after birth confirmed a severe encephalocele. This structural protrusion didn't just alter his appearance, it critically obstructed his respiratory pathways and presented a constant risk of rupture from minor trauma. Surgeons executed a series of urgent, high-stakes operations to excise the sac, repair the cranial defect, and reconstruct his nasal passage. These procedures were so extensive they left a prominent zigzag scar across his head, a physical map of his survival. Despite the systemic pain and recovery challenges, Ali maintained a remarkably high-functioning psychological baseline, navigating his biological recalibration with constant positivity. Ali Treisais' case validates a core survival principle. True strength is not defined by physical symmetry, but by the resilience to overcome extreme biological anomalies. Born with an encephalocele that forced his brain to protrude through a cranial gap into his nose, Ali faced critical respiratory obstruction and severe social prejudice. Through high-stakes surgical recalibration and his mother's unwavering defense of her real-life Pinocchio, Ali transitioned from a medical mystery into a thriving, confident child. His journey proves that a supportive environment can convert even the most daunting structural challenges into a triumph of the human will. Have you ever found strength in what others perceived as a flaw? Share your story in the comments and hit like and subscribe for more inspiring stories of human defiance. The biological architecture of a system influenced by Charcot-Levin syndrome operates under a state of extreme thoracic and spinal compression, driven by spondylocostal dysostosis. In the case of Tiffany Geigel, this genetic anomaly resulted in a severely shortened spine and malformed ribs, creating a restrictive internal environment where initial clinical data forecasted low viability due to pulmonary insufficiency and inadequate thoracic volume for organ development. Tiffany Geigel's trajectory validates a definitive principle. Extreme physical limitations can be overridden by a strategic, systemic recalibration. Born with Charcot-Levin syndrome, a rare genetic condition that severely compressed her spine and rib cage, initial clinical data predicted low viability due to crushed lungs. However, instead of submitting to her physiological baseline, Tiffany utilized a rigorous dance regimen from age 3 to force internal adaptation and maintain joint mobility. Transitioning from a medical dependent to a professional dancer and model, she proved that even a distorted skeletal framework can be synthesized into a powerful artistic language. Have you ever seen someone shatter established physical limits through sheer determination? Share your thoughts in the comments and hit like and subscribe for more inspiring stories of human defiance. Tiffany Geigel's trajectory reinforces a core principle of human adaptation. External standards never dictate personal potential. Substantial physical challenges are not fixed obstacles, but variables that can be effectively managed through resilience. Genuine empowerment is not found in achieving a perfect physique, but in the determination to convert perceived physiological limitations into a powerful and distinctive identity. In a rural village near Maghura, southern Bangladesh, young Bayazid Hossain was born with a profoundly rare medical condition that defies his 4 years of age. His physical presentation involves sagging skin folds, a swollen, wrinkled face, hollow eyes, and weakened teeth, alongside chronic joint pain and functional difficulties like impaired urination. Medical experts, such as consultant Debashis Bishwas of Maghura Central Hospital, identified a combination of progeria, a genetic disorder accelerating the aging process, and cutis laxa, a connective tissue disease that causes skin to hang loosely. These conditions collectively give the child the physical appearance of an 80-year-old man, leading to widespread comparisons with the Benjamin Button phenomenon. Bayazid was unable to attend school as other children, fearful of his appearance, avoided him, and left him isolated from typical play. His young parents endured deep sorrow while facing a difficult prognosis, as progeria frequently leads to heart complications or strokes, with a typical survival rate only into the early teens. In 2016, seeking answers and medical intervention, he was admitted to Dhaka Medical College Hospital for a series of specialized treatments and tests. Tragically, Bayazid passed away in December 2017, remaining a child trapped within a body that aged prematurely. Despite his brief life, Bayazid's story offers a profound lesson through the resilience displayed by him and his family, meeting adversity with love and acceptance. External appearance never dictates worth. True value resides in the heart, kindness, and the human spirit. His case serves as a powerful reminder to practice compassion, combat stigma, support rare disease research, and cherish every moment, as life remains precious regardless of its outward form. In the Kashmir region of India, Tawita John was born with an infrequent congenital condition known as macrodactyly, which triggered an abnormal overgrowth in her toes. Rendering them disproportionately large, long, is not limited by physical symmetry. In defiance. The Mondal sisters' trajectory establishes a definitive survival principle. Human fulfillment does not require a standardized physical baseline. Instead of risking a fatal systemic overhaul to conform to societal norms, true empowerment originates from embracing by converting perceived anomalies into a sustainable livelihood and remaining open to human connection, they successfully engineered a high-functioning life within an impossible biological framework. Born in 1962 in Orange, France, Michel Petrucciani was born with osteogenesis imperfecta, brittle bone disease, a genetic condition defined by extreme bone fragility and a deficiency in type 1 collagen. His biological baseline was characterized by over 100 fractures before adolescence, chronic pain, and a severe growth deficit, resulting in a height of approximately 3 feet, 91 centimeters, and a weight of barely 50 pounds. While he required a wheelchair to interact with the piano, his hands remained structurally unaffected, allowing for a high-functioning musical interface. A musical prodigy within a jazz-centric lineage, Michel began an intensive piano regimen at age 4, inspired by Duke Ellington. Due to his biological constraints, he never attended formal schooling, instead focusing on a high-functioning mastery of the keyboard. By 13, he was performing professionally. By 15, his technical In 1980, he transitioned to the U.S., collaborating with saxophonist Charles Lloyd and earning critical acclaim at the Montreux Jazz Festival. At 21, he became the first French artist to sign with Blue Note Records, producing seminal albums like 100 Hearts. His career was defined by collaborations with legends like Wayne Shorter and Jim Hall, culminating in prestigious honors including Identity, the Prix Django Reinhardt, and the Légion d'honneur in 1990 record. Chronic pain and pulmonary complications resulting from osteogenesis and inclusion. His lesson from the journey: there are no limits. Do not put a lid on me or anyone. With daily small improvements, grit, family support, and refusing low expectations, anyone can shatter barriers, achieve the impossible, and inspire others to believe in their potential, proving inclusion and perseverance turn dreams into reality. His life serves as a definitive case study in how dedication and a refusal to adopt a victim baseline can transcend even the most severe physical adversity. He proved that true greatness is a product of spiritual phenomenon. Misty Diaz's trajectory validates a core principle. The volume of surgeries or clinical diagnoses never defines the final parameters of a human being. True resilience lies in the capacity to perceive oneself not as a victim of circumstance, but as an operator with the power to actively alter life's variables. Do not allow medical trajectories or societal stigmas to frame your potential. You are the one who redefines the very meaning of being whole. Born April 2, 1987 in Haldensleben, Saxony-Anhalt, Germany, Matthias Schlitter, famously nicknamed Hellboy, was born with Klippel-Trenaunay-Weber syndrome, KTWS, a rare congenital vascular condition. This disorder triggered an abnormal overgrowth of bones, soft tissues, and veins, specifically within his right arm. As a result, his right forearm developed to be approximately 33% larger than his left, reaching a 46-centimeter circumference and possessing significantly greater strength, while the remainder of his physique maintained standard proportions. As a teenager, he navigated the challenges of public stares and physical differences. But in 2004, at age 16, his mother discovered a local arm wrestling flyer. Entering an amateur tournament in a bar, despite weighing only 65 kilograms and competing in the 95-kilogram class, he stunned the crowd by winning without any prior formal training. Initial laughter quickly transformed into respect. He subsequently joined professional clubs, initiated intense specialized training for his dominant right arm, and successfully ascended to the professional ranks. Over more than 20 years, Matthias secured numerous German national titles and international championships, including the 2013 over-the-top title in the under 70 kilograms right arm category, and ultimately became a world champion in the 70-kilogram class in 2022. Widely recognized by nicknames such as German Popeye or Hellboy, he now travels globally to compete, provide expert commentary on the sport, and serve as an inspiring cultural ambassador. Matthias's journey imparts a vital lesson. Convert what others perceive as a flaw into your greatest strength. Your unique traits, regardless of how different they appear, become gifts when embraced with hard work, technique, and determination. Never allow asymmetry or physical challenges to define your limits. Instead, use them to excel, prove doubters wrong, and live boldly. True power is derived from mindset and effort, not from perfection. Medical hypothesis. Can a biological system impacted by muscular dystrophy, characterized by progressive muscle degeneration and total wheelchair dependency, successfully infiltrate and recalibrate the high fashion industry, which traditionally worships extreme physical standards? Jillian Mercado represents a definitive case study in dismantling established aesthetic variables. Born with spastic muscular dystrophy, her physiological data initially suggested a life confined to the periphery of mainstream visibility. Yet she leveraged her unique physical form to challenge the industry's rigid perfection parameters. Analyzing Jillian's trajectory reveals a strategic systemic shift initiated from within. Starting as a fashion editorial intern, she mastered the industry's mechanics while identifying a critical data gap: the complete lack of representation for individuals with disabilities. Her 2014 breakthrough as the face of a major diesel campaign served as a catalyst for industry change. Instead of obscuring her wheelchair, Jillian leveraged it as an integral component of her unique visual language. Empirical data confirms her transition from a marginalized observer to an IMG model, appearing on New York Fashion Week runways and the covers of prestigious global magazines. Jillian Mercado's trajectory validates a core principle. Perfection is not a static baseline or a singular golden standard, but rather the radical acceptance of one's unique structural reality. When we cease attempting to fit into pre-existing molds and begin to honor our own differences, we do more than transform our own lives. We redefine the very architecture of beauty for all of society. We've just explored these extraordinary human stories today. These narratives not only amaze us, but also provoke deep reflection on the hidden potential of the human spirit. If you were moved and want to learn more about these remarkable journeys, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exciting videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.